A global challenge of banking the unbanked stems from barriers like poor connectivity, limited financial literacy, and strict identification requirements. And these gaps keep millions outside formal financial systems, especially in underserved regions. So developers are now responding by creating some sort of a secure, resilient, and simple digital tools that work even with weak infrastructure. And features like offline functionality, alternative data use, and safer onboarding methods are helping more people now to access basic financial services. And mobile transactions and digital wallets are becoming practical entry points for inclusion. For engineers, the priority is to understand the user's core financial struggle and build solutions that address those needs directly. To help us understand this better, we're joined by Ikechukwu Madubuike, who is a front-end developer. Thank you so much, Ikechukwu, for coming around.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So let's start this way. Recent data shows that about 1.3 billion adults still do not have an account with a formal financial institution, or should I say a mobile money service. Why do we have this shortfall in terms of those that should be banked but then are not part of the demographic?
Thank you very much. So the truth is a whole lot is going on, and then a whole lot of progress has actually come into this as well. So you can see that before now, the number of the banked to unbanked, was actually quite high, but with the influx of, more fintechs into the market space, like OP, Pay, we see that financial inclusion is actually getting to the grassroots. So I believe with time, and with the help of more developers, systems are coming into place, solutions are coming in that is going to still reach people in rural areas to actually bring down these numbers. A lot of progress, significant progress, have gone into this, and in no time, developers, fintech solutions are coming into play, trying to tackle one issue or the other. So in no time, this number, the number of unbanked, would actually drop drastically, because a lot of solutions are being rolled out daily.
Okay, before we even look at the solutions and look at the progress that have been made so far, we'd like to have more understanding around the challenges so that we can appreciate whatever solutions that developers will be bringing on board. So I'm just wondering, if we have a large share of the world's population operating outside of a formal financial system, doesn't that actually affect accessibility? Of course, businesses having the opportunity to effect transactions, having some sort of secure transactions taking place, and access to credit and more digital spaces being available to those now who really do not have that financial infrastructure available to them?
Okay, so I'm going to take this step by step. So when it comes to building out these products, so you agree with me that the way you build products for 100 users, it's definitely going to be different from the way you build products for 100,000 users. A whole lot of infrastructure, a whole lot of server architecture, needs to come into play for building scalable products for about 100,000 users or more. So and this takes time, but a lot has gone into play, products are coming up, a lot of fintech solutions are trying to include more features that are going to reduce this number for the unbanked. Apart from building products, we'd also want to look on how access to credit, has increased as well. So now, with from the comfort of your home, with your mobile device, you could actually have access to credits, probably using Vend money or Fair Money, whatever, platform you're comfortable with. Before now, it was quite difficult. It has to be probably going to the bank, and a lot of people, are not, that credit worthy. They don't know what it means, to be credit worthy, for you to be able to access loans with the bank. But now, with the comfort of your mobile phone, with just one or two credentials, that identify you as a bank owner or identifies you as a Nigerian, you can access credit using it to fund your SME or whatever you want to use this for. So there are a lot of progress coming up, and in no time, I feel like the numbers of unbanked, and then the numbers of people that are going to access credit would actually drop. There'll be an increment in people accessing financial loans, to support SMEs, support their businesses, and then more products to reach out to rural communities for them to join the banked community as well.
Okay, so you're already sharing with us some fintech solutions, but I'd like to find out, are the offerings from fintechs better than what traditional banks have offered for decades now? Because you're talking about rural areas, you're talking about those are unbanked, and we know that traditional banking systems have always been there. And other people have also talked about integration between fintechs and traditional banks. So what edge does fintech have over these traditional banks?
Yeah, so I'm so glad that fintech came into this whole tech space and all, to try to cut out some limitations that traditional banks, were not meeting up to over time. And then one of those things is, trying to the comfort of, getting access to funds, just via your mobile phone or your phone number. This is one of the limitation that fintech has been able to improve, and then one major thing as well fintech has done is how fast it is to receive credit alerts. It's so fast now, accessible to market women, and a lot. And I think to a very large extent, traditional banks, are trying to I don't know what it is. Well, I don't know if it's an API, fintechs are using to make this process so fast, So I think traditional banks, are just trying to implement that as well, to make their transfer system so fast that, as soon as you send money, you can almost receive it immediately. And that's great. Thanks to fintechs. Another thing is, seamless transaction, seamless UI. This is available to market women, to traders, and these were things that were not accessible to them, years back. So seamless UI, their UI is so easy to use and navigate, and it comes with a whole lot of features, the face unlock, the face security, fingerprint verification. These are some of the implementations or new technologies, that fintech brought into light. So moving on, I think there's a level of collaboration going on now, between fintechs and traditional banks. I feel like there's a level of collaboration going on.
Okay.
So you see some features in fintech application, and then you see them on traditional banking app as well. So that's a win.
Okay, yeah, you are a front-end developer. We know that developers are also trying to introduce artificial intelligence into business models and operations. What are we to expect in terms of changes when it comes to overcoming incapacitations for businesses, when it comes to enhancing processes and helping businesses to scale regulatory hurdles? What are those changes that we will be seeing?
So we need to expect a lot of changes, a lot of improvements to the system, with the incorporation of artificial intelligence now. We have smarter systems. We have faster applications. We are achieving speed now. So AI is quietly becoming the engineer behind great user experience. With AI helps users to get what they need without friction. And there's another thing coming into play: AI and automation. So what automation does to businesses, is it takes away repetitive tasks, for both users and businesses. Things like you do every day, you can just automate this process and just leave it to work on its own, focus on something else. So there are a lot of improvements now. AI is making making applications and businesses more personal. You pull out your Instagram or your Facebook, you search for a bag you want to buy, and in no time, after that day, probably a couple of hours, your feed, is filled with similar bags or similar things, things similar to what you searched for. So AI is making things personal now. Technology businesses, are being tailored to meet, user and personal needs. So, there are a whole lot of solutions that will be coming out, and the integration of AI and automation, would actually make businesses boom, make businesses grow, and achieve better things.
Yes, and we also understand that security is very critical in fintech and, of course, for customers. So how do AI tools ensure user data protection for customers and, of course, a regulatory compliance for businesses?
So it's absolutely critical. Security and data privacy is absolutely critical. People are more connected, now than ever, because almost everyone has a Facebook, an Instagram, a Twitter, Snapchat account. So people are more connected, than ever. But they are also more concerned about how their data is being used. So it's if users don't trust your platform, they won't stay. So data and security is data privacy and security is more like a user experience. They need to feel safe. To be able to to be sure that data is being protected. That's really, really important, and that's one of the cognizance developers put into play while developing applications or web applications for users out there. We take security very important. We want to prioritize user data and make sure there's no leak out there, so that users and businesses are comfortable using the platform.
Well, I know that ensuring data protection and efficiency across AI platforms is not something that comes easy or cheap for developers. So are there technical challenges that AI engineers face when building scalable fintech solutions for their businesses?
There are a lot. So but before then, so I think the major key is education. So you want to if you're building a fintech solution or if you're building an AI powered solution, you want to educate your developers, whether it's a front-end developer or a back-end developer. So you want to make sure all input fields are validated. You want to make sure you don't just hard code API keys. You want to make sure passwords are being hashed the right way. From the front end, you'd also want to make sure if someone is trying to log in or sign up, you don't just put, and the person is putting probably maybe a wrong password or a wrong email. You don't just come out and say, oh, wrong email or wrong password, try again. No, you want to put invalid credentials. The real owner of the system would now know whether it's my email that is wrong or it's my password that is wrong. So you don't want to just come out and say wrong password or wrong email. You just want to put it as invalid credentials. So a lot of education has to come into play, helping developers to actually protect data, and put security, as like a paramount test. Because I mean, if there's a security breach, it doesn't go down well, for both developers and the company. Moving on from that, businesses, users wouldn't want to come on the platform, again. So a lot of education has to go, first of all, to the developers before you can now start, employing other expensive enterprise solution, to secure your application.
Well, of course, we know that, of course, technology developers are working tooth and nail to improve on financial accessibility to customers, improve on blockchain technologies, and of course, see how efficiency can go across board within the tech space. And we hope that while that is done, it will also bring about a beautiful and a more efficient user experience for potential customers too within the ecosystem. Thank you so much, Ikechukwu Madubuike, front-end developer, for sharing your thoughts with us.
Oh, yeah, thank you. You're welcome.